This is the Goldilocks stainless steel pan, and true to the tale of Goldilocks, it strikes a nice balance between performance, design, and cost. It has all the essential features you'd expect from a premium pan: all-clad construction, rolled rims, subtle indents on the handle, without any of the flashy designs or excessive weight that also comes with premium pans. But maybe the most surprising thing is that for a pan with the specs to compete with all the top brands, it comes in at just a fraction of the cost. Let's run through all the features of this pan, starting with its construction. So this is a 3-ply, fully clad stainless steel pan. And those 3 layers are a 430 grade ferritic stainless steel exterior to enable induction cooking, a 1050 grade aluminum core for improved conductivity, and a 304 grade stainless steel interior for improved corrosion resistance and durability. Now, most premium stainless steel pans use similar interior and exterior layers. That 304 grade stainless steel and 430 grade stainless steel both are very common. The biggest point of differentiation is actually the core of the pan. When it comes to something like 5-ply or 7-ply cookware, what you'll see brands do is they will sandwich layers of aluminum alloy or copper in between layers of aluminum, thus giving them 5 or sometimes even 7 plies in total. In the case of Goldilocks, there's only 3 layers, so the entire core is all aluminum. How does that affect cooking performance? Well, whether it's 3 or 5 or 7 ply, the number doesn't really matter. What's far more important is the thickness and material used in each of those layers. There's a lot of trade-offs to consider here, but in general, if you want your pan to heat up quickly and be highly conductive, you're going to want a thicker core layer, whether that's made of aluminum, aluminum alloy, copper, or something else, and you're going to have thinner interior and exterior layers. If you want your pan to have high heat retention and be more durable, you're going to opt for a pan with thicker interior and exterior layers and a thinner core. And of course, the total thickness of all the bonded layers plays a role too. There's another trade-off there between performance and weight. In the case of Goldilocks, this pan is 3 millimeters thick throughout the entire surface, which is roughly in line with other premium stainless steel brands. But the best way to figure out exactly how this pan conducts and retains heat is to put it to the test. So I boiled 1 liter of water and then let it cool in this pan, then compared the results to Made-In's stainless steel pan. In terms of weight, this pan clocks in at about 3.3 pounds, which is slightly heavier than Made-In's pan at 3.1 pounds, but it's roughly in line with all the other premium stainless steel pans. On the design front, Goldilocks didn't make any bold statements, which I actually appreciate, but there's a few subtle touches on the handle, the exterior, and the rims that are worth noting. The most noticeable element is the polished handle. It kind of resembles All-Clad and Demayer in slightly different ways. The All-Clad resemblance comes from the indent running down the face of the handle, which gives your thumb a place to rest, and a convex bottom that fits the natural curve of your fingers. The Demayer resemblance is in the 2 prongs that connect the handle to the pan to keep it cool and cut down on excess weight. Goldilocks secures their pan to the handle using rivets, just like Made-In or All-Clad, and the ridges on top of the handle really help you when you're trying to grip the pan as you tilt it, so you're less likely to spill. However, if you have big hands, you may find this handle to be a little too thin. It feels great in your hand when you're resting the pan on the stove, but as soon as you lift it up, the weight of the pan and the thin handle combine to create these pressure points that can make it a little bit uncomfortable to hold. Moving on to the rest of the pan, there are rolled rims for easy pouring, although they don't extend as far outwards as they do on Made-In's pan. Here's a side-by-side performance test of the rolled rim features so you can see how they compare. The walls also have a fairly standard height, just slightly higher than Made-In's, but the cooking surface is slightly smaller. It's about 9.25 inches for the Goldilocks pan, compared to 9.5 inches in diameter for the Made-In pan. The pan also has a polished exterior, which can look great when it's clean, but it can quickly pick up fingerprints or smudges or food debris over time. And one other thing that I love about the design is the minimal branding. There's only 1 logo on the bottom of this pan and 1 etched below the handle. Now, the construction specs are solid, the design is neat, it's not overbearing, but the most obvious signal of Goldilocks' confidence in this pan is their lifetime warranty. And sure, other brands like Made In and All-Clad and Heritage Steel, they also offer lifetime warranties on their pans, but this one sells for a fraction of the cost, which makes the lifetime warranty all the more impressive. In general, I don't like to talk much about product prices because for all the different dimensions on which you can judge a product, its weight, its materials, its manufacturing methods, its design, its utility, its durability, I find price to be the least interesting because it tells you nothing about how the product was made or how well it works. However, price still is a dimension we all consider when we're buying products, whether we like it or not, and it happens to be the dimension on which this pan really separates itself from the competition. The 12-inch pan sells for just $60, the 10-inch pan sells for $45, and when you look at brands like Made In, All-Clad, Heritage Steel, all the premium stainless steel pans, this pan comes in at a fraction of the cost, yet it stacks up really well in terms of specs. So naturally, this leads us to the question of how is Goldilocks able to sell their pan for so much less if it has all the same qualities of the premium pans that sell for more? And I don't know the answer for sure, but there's a few factors that may be contributing here. The simplest explanation may just be that all the other brands have a large margin. I mean, just because a pan is selling for $150 doesn't mean that that is accurately reflecting the material and labor costs that go into it. There are countless examples of brands that make a living undercutting other premium brands. Another explanation may just be that Goldilocks can more efficiently produce these pans because it has a simple 3-layer construction. It's not a 5-ply or a 7-ply, and it only comes in 2 sizes. Goldilocks makes a 10-inch and a 12-inch version, whereas some other brands have dozens of varieties of pans. A third explanation could be that Goldilocks saves on labor costs because they're manufacturing these pans in China. I don't have any reason to believe the pans are any worse or better because they're manufactured in China. All I know is that the labor costs there are probably significantly lower than they are in places like France or Italy or the US. And finally, Goldilocks is a relatively new brand, so it's plausible that they're selling these pans as a loss leader to gain market share or to get people talking. Just because the pan is selling for $60 today does not mean that this is the sustainable price at which Goldilocks can sell these pans forever. But overall, this pan embodies the spirit of Goldilocks. It's just right. It's got all the key features, materials, performance you'd expect from a premium stainless steel pan, but it comes in at a fraction of the cost, and it even has a lifetime warranty. I mean, how many other products can you buy for $60 and use them every single day, maybe multiple times every single day for the rest of your life? I can't think of many products that fit that description. If you know of any, leave them in the comments. But to me, this is one of the best bang for your buck pieces of cookware, and you can pick one up at the link down below.